your cost goes up. And see, and if you want to stay in this type of business, you know, you don't want to cut corners. You know, you don't want to cut corners. You want to make sure that if it's going to cost you extra $500 or $1,000, put the money in and do it right, because you want referrals. You want referrals, and you want to deal with people, ethical contractors. They're going to tell you, look, the right way to do is rip this shit out and put in a new one. That's the bottom line. You know, so and also I got this moisture. This is a moisture reader. Okay, so a lot of times these homes that have been sitting around for like 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, they have moisture inside it. So you can put this up against the baseboard on the floor, and it's got a reader. It'll tell you, and it comes with a little diagram here.
Is that good for drywall as well?
Yeah, drywall and wood. You just change it and put wood, if it's wood, if it's drywall, and you pass this around. It gives you a rating. If it's 23 or something, then there's a lot of water back there. So, you know, that could be issues. So when you do your budget, just always think, okay, I may have to take this whole thing down. If I have to take this thing down, okay, this is 16 feet long by 20 feet, that's, okay, how much money? That's another $1,000.
Home inspectors should use them.
They do.
They do? They should. I would guess they do.
Well, I'm a home inspector. I've done many home inspections. There's a lot of little tools that you can have.
I haven't seen them. I haven't seen home inspectors.
A lot of them are lazy, and they don't know what the hell. This one house I sold, I swear to God, I had 4 offers that fell through and 4 different home inspectors. Each one of them found totally something different. Each one. One guy comes and says, oh, there's only these things wrong, so we fix them. Then offer falls through, another guy comes in, oh, these other things wrong. We fix those. Another guy comes in, oh, okay. Now the roof, these guys don't know, man. So this is what, I want you guys to understand, the basic fundamentals, so you can have a better understanding. So when these jokers come in there and hit you with $300-400, you just say, look, man, you didn't check out the plumbing, you didn't check out the electrical, you didn't check out this. You could be knowledgeable. The more knowledgeable you are, right, the better you control the situation. Right? So, okay, so those are some of the tools. Electric panel. Okay, so a lot of these houses, right, a lot of these houses that were built in the 40s and the 50s and the 60s, most of them, they have like 100 amp service coming into the house. You gotta do it heavier. Okay? So 100 amps is basically, that's not no good. Back in the day, people had maybe one television. You know, they didn't have toasters and they didn't have all these things. You know, they were simple people, lived simple lives. As we've evolved, now we got 5 TVs and stereo systems, computers, and, you know, so you should always have at least minimum 150 if it's going to be split between the gas. So the gas guy carries certain weight and the electric panel guy carries certain weight. All right, so what I mean by that, okay? So you go into a house, you got 150 electric panel. You have your appliances. You got a gas stove, which is, you know, is gas. So it's not going to pull on the electric. Hot water heater, furnace, dryers. So that's not going to pull on the panel. If everything in the house is electric, okay, then you got 100 amp, you're going to be in trouble. It's going to flicker and you're going to be in the dark. And it could cause fires because it overheat. Okay? So make sure your electricians, what I call is a load balance. Make sure they do a load balance. Make sure they look at the breakers and it's properly loaded. So this 20 amp breaker has the proper amount of circuit and the currents going through there. Right? So you don't have a 10 amp breaker pulling 20 amps. So you got to do what they call balance your load. It's got to be even so it don't get hot and cause. Most fires happen because of electrical. How many fires happen because of plumbing? You know, this shit, this is serious, man. Electrical you gotta take serious. And the thing is, as investors, people will come back 2-3 years later and say, look, you sold me this house, you did this renovation, and 2 of my kids just died.
How you,
You know, get your permits pulled, use Class A contractors, you know what I mean? People come in and say, y'all can do this for $1,200. Okay, but what, is that $1,200 gonna be enough to protect your ass 3 years from now when them 2 kids die?
What's the Class A contract?
I mean, meaning they got insurance, they got, you know, they're bonded, they're licensed, they got years of, they're professional. Like the board said, be professional, be friendly, be honest. You know, don't deal with no crooked ass people because you're gonna get crooked ass results. You know, I mean, I get calls made, but I do everything. What the hell you specialize in? You know what I mean? You do everything. I love football. I look at football team as everything. You gotta play your position in terms of where you're good at. If you're a quarterback, stay in your lane. If you're a running back, stay in your lane. You don't see a running back being a line defense man. They don't play multiple positions, they play their key position. And that's how teams win. By having the right people at the right area, because we're not strong at everything. We all have weaknesses. You bring in the people that you need to cover your weaknesses. So, but make sure your electrical stuff is done right. So when we go inspect some of these houses, especially when you see those little twisty fuse boxes, yank them out. The most heavy up is going to cost you about $3,000 to $4,000 is what's going to cost you. Okay? So and also, if these houses don't have air conditioning systems, now you got to put in a disconnect switch. Okay, so that's, you may have to put in a sub panel to put in a disconnect switch. Right? So all these things, just have an idea. So when you look at these homes in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, look at your panel, see what kind of panel you got. You got updated, it's $3,000 to $4,000. Right? And then so plumbing, I don't have no plumbing stuff here, but plumbing, most of these houses are built out of cast iron drains. The main drains are cast iron. Okay, just like anything in life, everything has lifespan. The milk goes bad after certain days. Right? We're all gonna die after a certain day. Everything breaks or cracks. So a lot of these older homes, they tend to shift. So look at your main drain. You see cracks, you see like a lot of rust, a lot of metal in there. There's a good possibility you may have to replace the main drain. Now, one of the things that you can do is contact Roto-Rooter, pay them $500. They'll come in with the camera snake. Okay, they'll snake out the whole line and tell you if underground, if there's clogged up or broken underground. Right? $500, you get that done. That could be an added value to say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner or seller, buyer, whatever, we have checked out the main drain lines are clean. Again, added value. You want to make yourself different, make yourself unique. Right? Added value. Right? And plus, if you know that the house is got issues, that's a pretty hefty repair. You got to dig that stuff down, and usually 8-9 feet down. Right? So I had to do it. Believe me, we did a house in Baltimore, so the tree was right outside the sidewalk. It's filled with roots. I got pictures. We pulled out almost 15 pounds of roots and dirt out of there. We had to dig all the way underneath the sidewalk, close down the sidewalk, close down half the street, go all the way underground, go into the house, underneath the foundation, take out the whole pipe, put in a brand new pipe all the way running out to the street. That's, yeah. You know, so I mean, it's just, you just got to be, look at the age of the house, look at where the house is located, look at any tree lines, you know, look at all these things to you know, kind of just estimate when you do inspections and things like that. Any questions so far? Make sense?
Right.
It's good stuff?
Did he tell you what he did?
No.
Power preservation.
For which bank?
First freedom preservation. We have a lot of banks, different banks we work with.
So you're like a third party?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I thought about that, but they don't pay you nothing.
You gotta do a lot of work.
Yeah, and then you gotta carry the invoice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's,
So he in and out of houses all day long.
yeah.
All day,
These are nasty houses too.
yeah.
Gary, bought a Lysol?
Nah.
You should.
You should.
What,
I'm telling you,
spray in the
man.
house?
Huh?
What, for the spray in the house?
No, even when you're driving, because
Okay.
you touching
Well,
your
we got hand
steering wheel,
sanitizer and.
you get all that stuff?
Yeah.
Hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
We went
We
to a
stopped
house,
washing our
79,
hands.
where this lady was getting there, no electric, probably no water.
Mold in the basement, she had some type of water, moisture problem down there.
Oh, man.
That's what I was
Foundation
saying.
might be like leaking.
That's a short sale.
Yeah, you
One
see,
one of my instances.
I mean, it's terrible. She shouldn't even be living there.
No.
Hmm. You tell you, well,
She knows.
she knows.
Yeah.
And she ain't got no insurance?
I don't know what the
I
situation
don't know
is.
what the situation
Yeah.
is.
Hmm. That's sad.
It took me 6 months for her to actually list it.
Wow.
was-
She older?
She was on Bank of America.
Well, oh, you gotta have a cigar, man. All right, you gotta have a cigar. I love cigars. All right, okay, so that's the stuff, right? And, okay, granted, so when you do, you know, have a pack, this is $3. When these batteries die, just throw it away, get yourself another one. It ain't expensive, but, you know, have that. Okay, granite, we're gonna talk about granite. And, we're gonna talk about backsplashes and ceramic tiles, okay? So, most women want a nice kitchen
And it was,
and a nice bathroom. And that's what sells the product, right? So, a lot of times, you know, again, you could spend $2,500 or you could spend $4,500, $2,000 difference. It really makes a big impact on the finished product. So the finished product is what sells the house, not what's behind the walls. You can't see what's back there, right? So on the third phase, which I call the third phase, which is the finished side, you have to pay real close attention, because that is what you're going to deliver, is the third phase.
So not to control. What are the first two phases?
Well, you got your demolition,
Demo, your roughing.
get it all out, look at the structure of the house, look at the bones of the house,
Right.
look at the grading, look at to see if there's any water issues, the leaning, look at the joists, look at the bones, look at your mechanical, your electrical systems, look at your HVAC systems, you look at your plumbing systems, because once at that phase you can take stuff down, move stuff around. Okay, because it's still in the first and second phase. Look at your main drain, look at all these things. If you got to bust the concrete open at that time, bust it open. But you get in third phase and you're like, oh shit, I gotta go backwards? Oh man, it's gonna cost you more money. So that's, you know, first phase, you know, demolition, you get the guys in there, you know, in a week they have it cleaned out. And if you say, okay, push this wall out, take this wall out, okay, move this out, then you come back, everything's done. Now you can say, look at the floor plan, and you can determine, okay, now I can see what I'm working with. I'm working with a 25 by 25, right? And then you have to have vision to say, okay, with this particular space, how am I going to lay this out? How am I going to work this in? Okay, I know there's a support beam here, so I got to have columns to hold up the support beams, right? Okay, well, all right, so there's the main door over there. So you got to kind of look at the whole space to see, you know, how if you was living in this house, what you would want to do. Would you want to live here? Would you want to put your sofa here, put your TV here? You know, kind of you have to visualize that,
Right.
right? Do I want an island here? Do I want to be able to look when people walk into the house? You don't have your back turned to people, right? So you got to visualize that. So when you do the first phase, clean it all out, then you can say, okay, well I'm gonna push this wall out 2 feet and I'm gonna turn it to this way so I can open up the hallway. Then once you do your framing, then you know, okay, I'm gonna put an outlet here, I'm gonna put an outlet there, I'm gonna put a 3-way switch here, I'm gonna put a 2-way switch here, so when you come upstairs, you don't have to go back downstairs to turn off the light. So now you got to do your electrical design on how you're gonna run your wires.
is that phase 2?
Phase 2. Because the walls are open and exposed. And you're already looking at the joists and the studs. So that's when you're gonna say, okay, I'm gonna put in, if you know you're in the bathroom, you gotta drop in your GFIs. Okay, so you know the tub gonna go over here, the sink's gonna go over here. Okay, so I'm gonna put a GFI here. You know, if you decide to do like sconks, again, you gotta see what the product gonna look like. Then you say, put 2 sconks here, so you know you gotta run the wire here and run the wire here.
What is that GFI?
It's like, like,
No, go ahead.
like a safety plug for, near like when the water.
Okay,
in the
okay.
kitchen.
Gotcha.
That's for
Yeah,
bathroom and
like,
kitchen.
shuts itself out.
Gotcha. Okay.
Alright, so GFIs cost more money. Okay, so GFIs, about $20 to $25.
A piece?
Yeah.
A piece?
The good ones now, don't get no cheap shit. You get the cheap ones for $9, $8. But again, man, 2-3 years, kids burning up, somebody knocking on your door because of $7. You're gonna be like, damn, I should have put that $7 in. You have to do it right? So, okay, GFI, and then also the GFIs, if you got 2 in the kitchen, you have to run the wire to a separate dedicated breaker. Okay, you have dedicated breakers. A lot of times, if you got a GFI, you connect this GFI to this outlet here, and then this outlet here, and this outlet here. And this thing resets. Well, these outlets ain't gonna work,
I seen that.
right? Because pulling too much load is pulling too much current off that. So yeah, reset. Yeah, if you reset, you know, either you didn't run the wire right, you put in a separate breaker. Yeah, so now phase 2, you get your electrical out the way. You decide you're gonna put a chandelier for your dining room area. This is gonna be your dining room area. Then you say, okay, I'm gonna measure this out. Boom, put a chandelier right here in the middle. They're gonna put a table right here. Okay, we figure out where you're gonna drop your wires at. Okay. Then once all that's done, you got your plumbing. You say, okay, I'm gonna put a shower on this side. I'm gonna put my hot and cold. I'm gonna run my shower head here. So then you got your plumbing done. Okay. Then you're closing the walls up. You're going to start going to phase 3. That's when you start doing your tile, your backsplash, your floors, your paint, your carpet. Then the finishes start coming in. Okay, that area is very important because that's what they're gonna see.
Yeah. That's where you see the shabby work.
Right. So now the problem, it hit them, not a problem, but you should have somebody else other than you coming in to look at the 3rd phase, like a woman or somebody, because we know they got a better eye than us
At the
Right.
finished product,
at the finished product. Because
touch-ups.
women are the ones that buy the home. Women are the ones that buy homes. Men, they just need a place to sleep and lay down. Work and come home, supper ready, you know, take a shower, go back to work, right? So they're the 67-80% of people that make the decisions. So we're catering to colors, color schemes, finished products. You know, you don't want to do purple walls and blue bedrooms and no, neutral. So I use light tone colors, right? But also you look at the number of windows. So if you got a living room area, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 windows, so you got a lot of natural light coming in, right? So then you want to look at it, is there a lot of light coming in? Oh. This is my phone. Hey, Albert. Hey, man. Oh, okay. She gonna call me back? Okay, man. Bye. Hey, Click, this guy's gonna call back. He's getting replacing a water heater.
Mm-hmm.
He's at Home Depot, so give him the credit card number to pay
I
for
got
that.
it. I have it.
Yeah. Albert's doing the work out here. Ain't it nice to make money and still have fun at it? But yeah, so the windows, you look at the windows, man, and you know, if you decide to do your, I don't have my paint swatches, but your paints and your colors and all that stuff, you know, get 2 or 3 people that you, or like Jonathan said earlier, go and look at other finished product that's your competition. And
It's a beauty contest.
yeah. And I do that a lot. I go and I look to see, okay, if this guy didn't put no backsplash, or he used white appliances, or he didn't do crown molding. You know what I mean? So then I go back, so I'm gonna drop in my black, so stainless steel, crown molding, shadow boxes.
And I think the light one, because a lot of the finished product out there is all dark.
Yeah.
I like the light one.
Yeah. And the light one opens up the house. It makes the house look bigger. The dark closes, you know, closes. Now, if you're in the basement, you know, most people try to use the basement area for like a bar, wet area, or entertainment. That's something. But you have, again, with the basement, be careful. You know, don't go super dark in those areas either. You know, So the granite will, you know, you have like granite, you have Class A granite, you have Class B granite, and you got Class C granite. There's a different price for each class, okay? So Class A granite will be anywhere from $55 to $65 a square foot. Okay, Class B is gonna be anywhere from like $50 to like $42, $44 a square foot.
Is it just a price difference?
Well, and it's
Or is it
also
quality?
the colors, the colors.
So it's not the quality of the product?
No,
it's
because
just
most,
price?
all granite is gonna be 3 1/4.
Okay.
It's all gonna be 3 1/4 inches. Now, well, be careful, there's some stores, will try to give you a 1/2 inch slab. Those 1/2 inch, they're gonna be like, oh, our price is $27 a square foot, but you get a 1/2 inch. You sit on it, it's gonna crack,
Yeah, right.
you know, so it should be 3 1/4. Okay, so again, you know, when you're doing granite, again, you want to be able to make sure if you do the backsplash, you do the tiles, you do the granite, you got your colors of your cabinets, you got the, you know, the colors of the hardwood floors, then you got the colors of, it's like the whole picture's got to come together, right? It's all got to come together. Make sense? So, and the same thing with bathrooms.
Yeah.
And the same thing with the bathrooms. It's all the pictures got to come together.
Right.
Now, if the guys do custom tile work, where they put on a diamond angle rather than just straight 12 by 12s, okay, that just looks so plain. A lot of my work is custom. I do custom diamonds. I put inside the bathrooms. I put in like shower bottles where you could take a shower.
Yeah, I see.
Right.
And then I put stools, like I like to sit down in the bed, drink my beer, take a shower. Yeah, I put, you serious, I got my little stool at the house. But no, it's good though, because my wife, she'll put a leg on it, wash her leg. So I put like little stools. And then I got a little holder. I got 2 holders, one for her, where she puts her stuff. I keep my beer in there. But it's cool though, it's like, it's decorative.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta be different.
Personal.
Yeah, and so I do like a lot of diamonds and things like that. But again, people see the finishes, and the finishes is what's going to set you different from your competitions out there.
Right.
So the goal for all buyers is that they want a move-in ready product. They want to move in, they want to put their bags down, they have to get the house clean, and boom, they want to live. Now most things for sellers is sometimes their kitchens are just outdated. You know, and by providing extra $5,000 to $7,000, they could get $35,000, $40,000 extra. And for investors, you know, our goal is to have a good solid product that we can put a brand on it. And people say, you know what, that is a brickfront property home. I bought that 10 years ago. Right? And be proud of your stuff. Right? So, but any questions so far?
Yeah.
Is it good? Good information?
Yeah.
It is my first class to go like this.
For real?
A construction class. I usually do an investment class, but this is my first construction class.
Right.
It was Clint's idea. Because I asked Clint one day, we was having a beer. I said, Clint, I said, what the hell most people out there looking for? He said, they don't know how to do construction budget.
Nope.
And I said, really? Because to me, it's natural, so I'm thinking what's natural to me is natural to everybody else.
Yeah.
Right? And then he's like, no, because I said, okay, well shit.
We actually have a cheat sheet that I grabbed from somewhere. The construction, like floor by floor, section by section. The one in the Google,
Oh, man.
what is it called?
Inspection sheet?
The inspection sheet that we
Inspection sheet
use.
you use?
But does that have a cost of material and stuff?
I think so.
It is broken
Yeah,
down.
so it's a nice little inspection sheet.
I think I got it from the attorney. We gotta share it with you so you can see it's all broken down by room.
Okay. All right, cool. But all right, so far it makes sense. And I told Clint I was gonna put this. We buy houses. Hey Clint, get this on the camera. We buy houses cash. 14 days or less. Give us a call. But yeah,
Who's number? That's you guys?
that's the office number here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the office number.
That's a small
So
little
you-
sign.
Huh?
18 by 24.
That's Clint's handwriting.
Alright.
So here's the thing, so here, okay, I started off as a contractor, okay, building homes, and then I dealt with a lot of bad contractors that stole a lot of my money and did things wrong, and I had a lot of inspection issues when the buyer came in. And then when I went to find them, they were gone. And then I had to pay another contractor to go back and fix all this stuff. So a lot of this stuff I learned the hard way, right? So, yeah, and then I became a full-time investor, just doing more of my own stuff, right? And then I started dealing with a lot of bad agents that didn't really know how to work with investors. Okay, our number one goal as investors is to flip our cash. If I put in $85,000 in this house, I want to get my $85,000 back as soon as possible with my markup. I don't want that thing riding out for 90 days to 120 days, right? So be careful on how you choose your real estate agent that's going to represent your product.
So, since you have that experience, all your experiences, what would you recommend to an agent how to work with an investor?
Be knowledgeable. Be knowledgeable of this stuff. Be knowledgeable of what the outcome is. What is the investor's ultimate goal? What is the bottom line? Right? Is to move his money. Is to move his product. And if you can do that consistently for that guy, he will give you 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 other listings, and he's going to give you other clients. So the way I look at it like this: if he hires me to represent his product, and let's just rewind the tape. Rewind the tape. So let's say he bought a foreclosure from me, or a house that needs to be repaired. So he gets into the property, and then I come to the job like, hey, what's going on, Corey? Everything cool? And I'm guiding him. I'm guiding him through the process. I'm guiding him through the process. Hey, man, you know what? You should consider maybe changing your kitchen layout, or maybe you should do this, and because people need guidance, right? I like the way you're doing this, man, but maybe put the sink on this side. And you're kind of involved through the process. You come back 2 weeks later, and then now he's about to do something with the granite. You're giving him ideas. But also at the same time, you know that this house is going to get listed. It's just a matter of time. But you don't even know about it. Right? So that's a private listing. So now you're working with the guy. Guess who the guy going to end up giving you the listing to?
Right.
The person that's been engaged and involved and helping throughout this decision. But you, as the agent, if you're good, you should already be marketing this property. And let's say y'all could say, hey, Corey, man, look, I already got me a buyer for this house. He can be like, what? I said, yeah, I got 2 buyers already. When you gonna be done? I'm gonna be done 2 weeks. I look, I'm gonna bring the guy's buyer. He gonna be like, damn. Sold this house, he got his money back. And because I know he's about to finish his listing, this property, he's an investor. He's gonna buy another one. He's gonna buy another one. So when I know he's going to the 3rd phase, I'm like, check out this house, man. Check out this house. Check out this one. So I'm feeding him more deals because he want to flip his cash and go to the next deal. So now I'm feeding him my input, and I'm involved throughout the process, and I'm giving him the next deal. So now I made money on the buy side, then I made money on the listing side, right? And then I just gave him another deal, so I made money on the buy side. I'm gonna make money on the listing side. So that one client could give you 10, 12 deals in a year. Most people don't do that.
No, they don't sell on the foreclosure, they just move on to the next one.
They walk to the next one.
That's it. They treat an investor buyer like a retail buyer.
Right.
Exactly.
They shouldn't do that.
Exactly. So that's another class that we're gonna do for agents. But for our agents here, we're gonna do it for free. Because I want all the agents to understand on how to work and provide the NOI on their investment, how to do the due diligence for them on their behalf, how to run the numbers in the CMAs, and to show, okay, Mr. Investor, you buy this for 100, you put in about a 50, the ARV is going to be 229, here's going to be your holding cost, here's what's going to cost you to get out of this deal, here's going to be your net profit. And I bring this to him, he can be like, damn, Sid. And you know what, we're going to take 7 weeks to get this thing done for you, man.
Oh, because you got the construction here, boom.
That's how you do it. You like it? Yeah, what? Give me some feedback.
Yeah.
It makes sense, right? Okay. So that's how you do it. You know,